Semester A, Week 3, Pitch Structures. Pitch and rhythm, it could be argued, are part of the same spectrum of frequency vibration. If you speed up a rhythm enough, it becomes a continuous and potentially a pitch sound, and vice versa. If you slow down a pitch enough, you might start hearing pulse and rhythm. So it's not surprising that the rhythmic techniques we've already encountered in time structures are the foundation for the theory of pitch scales. In the graph that you're looking at, each square on the vertical axis equals a semitone rise in pitch. Each square on the time axis represents the duration of a crotchet. The interval pattern of the major scale 2-2-1, 2-2-2-1 is plotted along both the pitch and the time axis as arrows. Then scales can be understood as rhythmic patterns projected onto the vertical axis, the frequency dimension of the same graph. In theory, an infinite number of frequencies might participate in a scale, and so a system of selection is required. Fortunately, nature has provided such a system in the form of the octave, the founding interval of the harmonic series, which in turn underpins the structure of our own nervous system. The octave then provides the frequency limits for a scale, but what determines the mood and the character of a particular scale? The answer lies in the proportions used to subdivide the octave, thereby determining the intervals of a scale. Tradition has provided a relatively small number of models, such as the family of 5-note pentatonic scales or 7-note diatonic scales. Taking a mathematical approach and simply subdividing the number 12, the octave, yields a vast number of potential scales. Rhythmic techniques, first described in Book 1 of the Schillinger system, are involved in the process. For instance, networks of closely related scales are revealed when two parent intervals are synchronized. See, for example, the Schillinger system of musical composition, pages 115 and 116. Or, for example, the traditional church modes emerge when a major scale undergoes circular permutation. Look at the Schillinger system, page 122. These methods empower the composer by providing an abundant source of relevant and related melodic and harmonic forms. Schillinger talks about 4 classes of scale. Type 1 are those scales confined within the space of an octave. Type 2 are the same types of scales but expanded over several octaves. See figure 15 in this week's course text. Type 3 scales are symmetrical divisions of the octave. Within the octave, I should say, while type 4 are the same symmetrical divisions but expanded over many octaves. Now, I think we can reduce these to 2 basic types: all non-symmetrical scales within the octave and the expansions beyond the octave. This includes traditional 7-note diatonic scales, and another type, all symmetric scales and their expansions beyond the octave. There's often confusion around modes. Modes are the children of a single scale. They are created by rotating the pitches of the parent scale. Perhaps it would be better to talk of a scale and its different moods. Each mood could be seen as being a mode. Have a look at the Schillinger system, page 117. So a scale is the raw material, the genetic code, if you like, out of which music is sculpted. Look at figure 7 of this week's course text. The interval sequence of the scales may be different, but there are no new pitch names, no new alphabet letters. You'll notice that the pitches in the natural minor scale, the Aeolian mode, are produced by rotating the pitches of the major scale, starting on its 6th scale degree. The pitch A in C major Once you've absorbed and assimilated all the information in this week's course folder, looked at the Schillinger system, listened to the audio examples, you should have a go creating your own scales and modes, sectional scales and symmetric scales, and writing very short, simple, melodic examples based on those scales. Nothing too big, remember, just a few bars.